watched my previous videos, there was a point where I was talking about how my fiance bought me the Beach Riot Pop Mart blind box for the Punk Fairy set, and I really wanted Frankie Sunflower. Poppy Tree Stump or Gigi Mushroom. The first one I got was Poppy Daisy, which I wasn't upset about because it is really cute too. He then bought me another box and I got Gigi Ice, which was one of the only two that I actually did not want. Then the next day he surprised me with 2 more boxes. Two more. And we kind of like cheersed the boxes and we opened them together. And this is what I pulled. I'll show you guys now. I pulled Poppy Tree Stump. So she sits on this little tree stump, of course. And then this is what she looks like. She has a little tattoo. I can't get the camera to focus that well, but I really love it. I was so happy that I pulled this. I really was not feeling lucky that day, so I was so shocked when I pulled Poppy Tree Stump. So I was so shocked when I pulled Poppy Tree Stump, but I was so happy. And then I looked over to my fiance and he was like smiling, and it's because he pulled this and he knew it was the one that I wanted. He pulled Frankie Sunflower. How cute is she? If you don't know, sunflowers are my favorite flowers, so I just had to have this one. Well, yeah, he pulled Frankie Sunflower, and I pulled Poppy Tree Stump, so that was a really good day. It was very exciting, and I am very happy with them. I would love to eventually get Gigi Mushroom as well, because I do really like Gigi Mushroom, but we already spent, it was £15 a box, bought 4, so we spent £60 on those, and we can't really justify spending any more at the minute, so maybe in the future, but right now I am very happy with what I've got. I am so grateful. I'm so lucky to have someone who spoils me like that, and I'm very grateful to him. But that's enough of you. That's enough of me rambling. I just wanted to share a little bit of joy with you guys. Yeah, but let's get into the actual video now. So, this first story is by Annie Delacroix, and it's titled, "Am I the a-hole for snapping when someone rubbed my belly and implied I might be pregnant?" bunch of us went down to grab food. While I was standing in line, I opened the Nest camera app to check on something and saw a little bird that's been showing up outside every day. I laughed and casually said to no one in particular, "This bird comes to visit me every day." Right after that, a co-worker who has made pregnancy comments towards me before came up, rubbed my belly without asking, and said something like, "Maybe it's because you've got a baby bird on the way." I felt this immediate wave of rage, like, why are we still doing this in 2025? So I said, "Don't be wishing that kind of bad luck on me." She looked super taken aback, and my boss, who overheard, also looked at me like I'd just said something offensive. It felt like I was the crazy one for being upset, but I didn't ask to be touched. I'm not pregnant, and I really don't like people making those kinds of comments about my body. Now, I'm wondering, am I the a-hole for reacting the way I did? Edit. I am not overweight, which only makes it weirder because I do not look pregnant. There's a couple of rays of sunshine trying to make me feel bad about my weight. Maybe I need to be more specific. My co-worker did not do this out of my looks. That's why I'm concerned, because even though yes, I'm not the fittest person, I know I don't look pregnant. Definitely not the a-hole. It's so weird for this co-worker to be making comments about you like that. Because one, it's truly none of their business, and it will never be any of their business. Two, it just comes off as kind of obsessive and weird if they're doing it multiple times and you don't look pregnant or anything. And three, it's super insensitive to speak on things that you have no idea about, because one, you could be making that person feel really insecure about their body, and two, you don't know if this person has like fertility issues, if they've lost a baby in the past, if they're trying to get pregnant. Like, you don't know the situation at all. Some people don't want children, that's fine. So it's not your place to comment on practically a stranger's body or autonomy. Like, it's not your business. It's not your business. And it's rude. And especially, I almost forgot, touching her, like rubbing her belly. That's strange. Even if she had made a pregnancy announcement, you don't just go and rub someone's belly. Like, you, for starters, you ask permission, but unless you actually probably know this person, like it's your best friend, your sister, something like that, I wouldn't ask, because I feel like it's strange if you don't really have a connection with said person. Maybe that's just me, but that's my take on it. But definitely not the a-hole. Okay, so the next one is by primary_tradition 584, and it is titled, "Am I the a-hole for not apologizing to my brother after I yelled at him for getting my ice cream order wrong?" chance on me that he'd need a ride, so we assumed he'd get home on his own. Around 2:30 a.m. he texted me asking for a ride. I was annoyed since I was trying to sleep, but he insisted there were no other options. I asked if I'd only be picking him up, and he said yes. Mind you, we live in a village, so I had to drive 25 minutes to pick him up. When I got there, my brother and 5 large drunk soccer players piled into my small car that could barely fit 4 people, including me. I didn't want to leave them stranded, so I drove them home. My brother didn't thank me or even say anything afterward. I felt incredibly used. The next day, Easter Sunday, my dad was heading out to pick up some ice cream. It's a tradition. My brother was writing down our picks for ice cream flavors, and I told him 3 times to write down raspberry as a backup in case my favorite wasn't available. He nodded. Later, my dad came back and said my flavor was out and my brother hadn't told him what I wanted instead. When I got upset, he just shrugged and said he forgot. That evening, I was in the shower when my brother wandered in. He complained that I always used the bathroom at the wrong time. I snapped, telling him he wasn't the one to decide what time was right for me to be in the bathroom, and that he was being controlling and inconsiderate. He laughed and mocked me for being upset over ice cream. I told him it wasn't about the ice cream. It was about how he never seems to care about me, my feelings, or how his actions affect others. I told him I felt used and that he lacked emotional intelligence. He called me crazy and childish, so I walked out before I could burst into tears. My dad had heard the argument and agreed my brother was inconsiderate. My mum, however, said I shouldn't expect men to understand my emotions and basically told me to just accept it. Now my brother is giving me the silent treatment and told my mum he might not want to go on our planned family trip to New Zealand because of me. My mum wants me to apologise or make the first move. I told her I'm not mad anymore, but I will not do him any more favours, and I'm not apologising for standing up for myself. So Reddit, am I the a-hole for not apologising to my brother for yelling at him? I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on that one. For me, they are so not the a-hole. And the mother, to put it simply, I may be being a bit harsh here, but seems like a cow. A proper cow. She basically told her daughter that men treating her like shit is normal, okay, and to be expected, and that you should expect them to treat you like that. That is not a good thing for a mother to try and instill in her daughter at all. You should be teaching your daughter that she should be respected no matter what, and should not take that from anyone of any gender. That's insane. And also, the mother told her to not expect men to understand her feelings, but her dad, her dad understood why she was upset and thought her brother was being a bit of a prick. So, I don't know why the mum is being, I don't know what the term would be. Would it be misogynistic, sexist? I don't know why she's being so old-fashioned with the thing of, oh, men will at such an hour. It's really not just about the ice cream thing. I think it's little things on top of each other that have built up probably within the weeks, months, years, because he sounds like a real brat. So it's not just the ice cream that she yelled at him for, she's just sick of his behaviour in general. And that's totally valid because he sounds like a real dick. But let's move on to the next one, shall we? Oh, by the way, you might have noticed I don't have like the LED cozy lighting on right now. It normally clips on to the top of my phone here, and there's only this much distance between me and the phone. And even on the lowest setting, it's so bright and it's like eye level with me, and it gives me such a bad headache, and it makes recording the videos very difficult because I basically just start like seeing stars, like I'm blinded by it, and it just takes all the enjoyment away, and it makes it really difficult and gives me like a really bad headache for the rest of the day because I'm very sensitive to stuff like that. I have always had issues with bad headaches and migraines. So yeah, I don't have that on at the minute. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna try and find an alternate solution because I do want some cozy lighting. But I'm gonna have to look at what my options are and see what I can do. But yeah, I hope it's okay for now. This next one is by Try-Pie2917. It's titled, Am I the A-hole for asking that a baby/infant be removed from cook line and kitchen in a commercial kitchen during operational hours? A couple of weeks ago, my kitchen manager turned up for work with his baby. He proceeded to enter the kitchen in civilian clothing, as it was a nice day. Shorts, t-shirt and trainers, with the child strapped to his front. He then jumps on the cook line and attempts to cook and prepare food. Baby is still attached. He took up position between the head chef and another team member who were cooking at the time, surrounded by appliances front and back that were all on. Grills, fryers and hot-hold bain-marie. I don't know what that is. I was clearing the cook line from previous service. After he nearly fell backwards over a bin and myself, I let out a slight outburst of my dissatisfaction of the situation and concern for the safety of the child. Everyone looked at me as if I was an idiot. I stepped off the cook line and out the kitchen to calm down. On my return, I then discover, by nearly knocking the child over with a prep trolley, that the cook manager had detached the child from himself. Put the kid in the biggest high chair we have in the restaurant and placed said chair and kid at the end of the cook line, obscuring the gangway, which also serves as the main fire escape route under the equipment kill switches. I was about to explode with rage at this point, so I pleaded, albeit slightly angry, if the child could be removed from the kitchen. Again, I was met with stares as if I was being an idiot and an a-hole. Almost all of my co-workers have sided with the kitchen manager / father of the child, and I am now outcast in my workplace. Am I the a-hole for reacting on my behalf that babies should not be allowed in commercial kitchens or on a cook line during operations? unprofessional, it's stupid, and it is kind of unclean. You know, babies aren't the most clean of creatures. I love babies, but come on, they're not clean. They poop and pee everywhere, sticky hands, snotty noses, easily catch colds and other illnesses and stuff. But yeah, there are many reasons why the child should not be there. But the main and the biggest one is the safety of said child. That is a very, very dangerous and stressful environment for a baby to be in. I could not fathom having my baby there. It's not sensible, it's not smart, it's not safe. The noise, the bright lights, I know some, like the overheating from all the heat and the steam and stuff. I know some chefs get burns from the type of lighting they use in there because the lights they use are so hot and they're burning down on them all the time. There has to be someone you can speak to about that, like someone in a higher position, some sort of health inspector, police, safety regulators, anything. There will be someone you can speak to about that, because that is not okay. They are that nonchalant about putting their child in danger in public. I dread to think how that child is treated or mistreated or neglected at home. So I also think that child services should be called. Yeah, that's really bad. That's really bad, so no, you are not the a-hole. Let's do this next one. This is by Acceptable Macaron 81. It is titled, Am I the a-hole for telling my family they can't stay at our house? My husband, 29 male, and I, 24 female, live in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo with our toddler in Florida. We are traveling up north for my brother-in-law's wedding for a week in July. This past weekend, my husband's father texted my husband a picture of his daughter's flight ticket to Florida the week we will be out of town for the wedding. This was out of the blue and was never mentioned to us before that she would be visiting us. My husband responded that we will be out of town that week, and his father replied, I thought we talked about this before. You said she and her sister could stay in the condo while you guys are at the wedding. These are my husband's younger stepsisters, 19 and 17 years old. They have never been that close, and have only visited the condo one time before with their parents. Apparently, there is a convention they want to go to in the town that we live in, and decided they would stay at the condo for the week while we aren't there. I told my husband I do not want them staying there while we are gone. Simple as that. My husband doesn't want them to stay either and is annoyed by the situation, but he feels bad they already booked their flights and tickets to the convention, so he told them they could stay. I also want to add that one time the stepsisters did stay with us, the condo was a mess. They didn't bother to grocery shop with us or provide anything while they were staying. My husband's dad ensured they would clean and buy their own groceries, however I still don't want them to stay while we are not there. It feels feels weird to have people I'm not that close with in my house using my stuff, especially two teenagers. My other brother-in-law lives about an hour away and is going to the convention with his stepsisters, and will also be staying at the condo. I asked if they could all stay at his place, and they said it's too messy and too far away from the convention. So am I the a-hole for still trying to convince my husband to tell his stepsisters they can't stay? I have also offered that they could visit any other time when we will be there. No, you are not the a-hole. I would not feel comfortable with people that I don't know well staying in my place while I'm not there. I am the type of person that very much values my personal space, and so I personally would struggle with even letting people I am close with stay there without my presence. The only person I can actually think of that I would allow to stay in my place and feel comfortable about it while I'm not there is my best friend, and I've known her since like year 7 of high school, so like since the start of high school, and I'm 24 now. Like I really wouldn't feel comfortable with anyone else, even other people that I'm close with. It's just a me thing. I very much care about my space and my comfort and my privacy. Not because like I don't like them or my place is messy or I've got anything to hide. It's nothing like that. I don't know. I've never really been comfortable with people in my space. Even as a kid, I hated people coming into my bedroom, like my family and stuff. I was always very defensive about it. I hated it. Especially if they would come in and like touch my stuff, like pick something up and that. Oh my god, I don't know why, but it just stresses me out. So no, not the a-hole. Especially considering 1, you don't really know them. 2, last time they created a mess. 3, they're still quite young, so probably irresponsible. And they just kind of threw this on you. They didn't ask. They just booked the flight and said that they will be staying there. That's crazy. Like, it's giving entitled and rude, and I've never been told no. Like, I don't know. I could never just assume that I would get my own way like that. And even if I thought they would say yes, I would feel far too rude and just terrible to spring that on someone. Like, I would ask ages in advance. So no, not the a-hole at all. Oh my goodness. I understand your husband not wanting to turn them away because they've spent the money already. But even he isn't that close with them, and he, in my opinion, should be prioritizing yours and both of your comfort and peace of mind. So I think it's quite shitty that he's buckled and told them they can stay. I wouldn't be happy about that, and that would cause a little bit of a disagreement if I was the one in that situation. But let me know what you guys think about that. Maybe that's just me, because like I said, I've always personally really valued my space and my privacy, so maybe I feel a bit more defensive about that one. This next one is by Moon Wolf Eater. It's titled sister-in-law to start parenting her child better while they live with us. I, 30 male, live with my wife, 30 female, and daughter. 7 months in a smallish 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom house. Back in November 2024, my sister-in-law, 28 female, and her daughter, 7, made the decision to move to the city where my wife and I live. I spoke with my wife about sister-in-law staying with us and a family friend of ours until she finds a home of her own, splitting her time here between our place and our friend's place. Sister-in-law moved in around Christmas, and well, it has been difficult. She has only spent 1 week with the friend. Sister-in-law actually messaged my wife the first night she stayed with the friend, asking if she can come back to our place. Sister-in-law has been to maybe 10 house viewings and applied for all of them. Well, the rental market is also rough at the moment here, and it's hard to find a place. Wife and I got our new rental within a week of having to move out. Sister-in-law rarely seems to actively be looking for a place to live. Often it's my wife pushing sister-in-law to go to viewings and apply for rentals. All this was half expected between my wife and I, but what I was not expecting was her laziness with her own daughter. Sister-in-law will basically tell her daughter to do something about 5 times or so, before yelling or screaming at the child in frustration. This is because sister-in-law will tell the daughter to do something and then go back to scrolling on her phone and not pay attention. For example, the daughter will watch Netflix on the iPad with the headphones on when it is dinner time. So the daughter will actually just sit watching whatever show she is watching and not eat unless told to. Sometimes the daughter will do something she shouldn't, like kicking the drawers to our baby's clothing drawers. The daughter sleeps on a mattress in the baby's room while Bub sleeps with wife and I. Sister-in-law will yell at her to stop from the lounge room. 2 minutes later, I will hear the kicking start again, and sister-in-law won't say anything for another 2 to 3 minutes. To make things worse, sister-in-law had been told they were approved for a rental, and once the bond was provided, they could move in. Unfortunately, they missed out because they didn't get the unemployed on government assistance. Unfortunately, they missed out because they didn't get the bond in time for the house, but I found out that she is getting $1,700 a fortnight. She is unemployed on government assistance. She has lived with us for 3 months and has not been charged board, only paid $200 for food and water a fortnight, yet somehow she couldn't save up for the bond and wanted to go through the government's bond assistance. My wife and I are going to sit her down and discuss a budget with her and board, but based on the last 3 months it feels like she is going to live here longer. As it is, my wife and I are the ones telling the daughter not to do things, and I can see sister-in-law getting annoyed when we do. It's a lot going on, but I mostly don't know if me telling her to pull her finger out and parent her daughter better is out of line or not. So Reddit, will I be the a-hole if I told my sister-in-law to parent her daughter better so my wife and I don't have to? No, you are not and you will not be the a-hole. Like, I don't know, I find it so crazy that someone can take advantage of other people's kindness like that. Like, you are being housed by family for months, you're getting quite a lot. That's more than I earn and I work. And she gets that fortnightly, so she gets 3,400 a month. That's more than I earn in like a few months. So she should have definitely had the money. So to me, it just seems like she wants to take advantage of her current position, spend the money how she likes, and live off other people's kindness. She seems very leechy. She's living there rent-free, barely paying anything. You have to parent her daughter most of the time because she can't be bothered. You probably cook for her too. It just seems like for her that's an optimal living situation because she doesn't really have to do much. She's just, getting a free ride. So either she's spending her money willy-nilly like she wants to instead of being a responsible adult, or she does have the money for the bond, which I assume is like a deposit. But she just, is saying she doesn't have it so that she doesn't have to move out yet. But I would kick her out so fast if it wasn't for the baby. Well, the kid's not a baby. But yeah, if it weren't for the child, I would kick her out so fast. Because it's not the child's fault. I understand the child is being badly behaved. But at the end of the day, they are a child who doesn't seem to have a good role model. They are like that because the parent just allows their behavior and doesn't correct it. And yeah. That is gonna be it for this video today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on these stories, and if your opinion differs from mine, it's always nice to see things from a different perspective. As always, please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. It really helps out the channel a lot. Subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see from me. But as always, guys, thank you